My name is Egon Cholakian. In view of the exceedingly alarming situation, the unprecedented progression of destructive climate catastrophes on our planet, I urgently wish to appeal to the three global leaders upon whom, in my estimation, the future of all humanity depends. I address myself to the President of the United States of America, Mr. Joe Biden, the Chairman of the People's Republic of China, Mr. Xi Jinping, and the President of the Russian Federation, Mr. Vladimir Putin. I address you, the three prominent leaders of our time, publicly and openly, for your voices are pivotal to shaping the current global agenda. If you can hear and comprehend the magnitude of the climate peril confronting humankind today, the entire international community will become aware of this problem, thereby affording us a chance to overcome this impending catastrophe. This is genuinely a critical and momentous juncture in our history. The fate of every inhabitant of Earth now hinges on your political will. I am compelled to make this urgent statement in my role as a representative of the world of science, as a multidisciplinary scholar reflecting top-tiered academic and laboratory affiliations, who likewise enjoyed intimate working relationships with 4 U.S. presidents. For many years, I concerned myself with the impact of climate change upon national security. Distinguished leaders of the world, Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, and Mr. Putin, today I implore you to urgently redirect your utmost attention to the deadly climate threat that our planet and all humankind are now confronting at this very moment. Let me be very clear. I am not referring to greenhouse gases or CO2 emissions. I am addressing a far more severe factor causing anomalous changes in all layers of the Earth. This factor remains inadequately explored and necessitates immediate exhaustive investigation by the scientific community. Let me elucidate the key aspects of the issue to foster a deeper understanding. The cause behind the escalating climate changes today is an external cosmic impact destabilizing the Earth's core. This is exacerbated by the ocean's loss of thermal conductivity function, leading to its inability to cool the magma. Consequently, endogenous energy accumulates within the Earth's depths. Take a look at 2 critical parameters. The first chart shows trends in the amount of heat stored in the world's oceans. And the second chart shows annual divergence of global ocean surface temperature. In both cases, there is a definite upward trend visible in the data. These disruptions in the balance of the planet's operation result in a rapid increase in both the number and intensity of extreme atmospheric events, including hurricanes, typhoons, tornadoes, and anomalous precipitation, leading to floods. This perturbation also extends to geodynamic catastrophes, such as earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, etc. Furthermore, according to a mathematical model devised by the international scientific group ALLATRA, the escalation of climate catastrophes occurs in a geometric progression from which it ensues that in just 7 years, as a consequence of the cataclysms on Earth, there will be hardly any habitable place remaining. I have verified their calculations in this mathematical model and have every reason to assert its accuracy and precision. I wish to underscore that I have been involved in developing methodologies for analyzing the veracity of information which have been employed by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, CIA, and other U.S. and foreign intelligence agencies. Therefore, I possess a level of competency sufficient to assert that the progression of increasing strength and frequency of cataclysms proposed by ALLATRA is, in fact, accurate. It indicates the most perilous situation, the rapid intensification of the power of cataclysms in the coming years, and an impending climatic collapse. To corroborate this inference, scientists are encouraged to conduct their own elementary calculation right now. Any doubts will be dispelled within observing the progression of alterations in the ocean for the past 3 years. This includes scrutinizing such criterion as alterations in the ocean's chemical composition, temperature regime, and gas exchange. These aforereferenced factors speak for themselves. If a collective analysis were undertaken, it would be realistic to deduce that we are on the brink of collapse, and the future of humanity hinges on the decisions of these three individuals. The realization of climate anomalies and progressions that I have referenced signify that in the immediate future, we will inevitably face historical magnitudes of devastation from climate disasters, incurring immeasurable material and financial losses. We will witness an unprecedented surge in the number of climate refugees, compounded by the loss of a massive number of human lives. On 13 August 2023, I made a compelling call to all of humanity, the scientific community, the world leaders, to support the establishment of a unified international scientific research center. This center would facilitate a rigorous and comprehensive investigation of the multifaceted aspects of climate change and the development of effective and sustainable solutions. I initiated this concept with the sole aim of bringing together leading experts in scientific interdisciplinary research and providing them with optimal conditions for productive work. This entails access to all necessary scientific resources and unlimited funding, which can only be achieved with the endorsement and uniform cooperation of the states. In the short span of time since my initial appeal, just a few days back, I have received an overwhelming response from my colleagues, experienced scientists from across the entire globe, who concur with my apprehensions about the global climate predicament and deem it imperative to act in a manner commensurate with the urgency associated with an impending cataclysmic event. Numerous appeals to align with my movement have been received through my dedicated website, and I very much welcome hearing from all others internationally in furtherance of bringing about the establishment of an international team of mixed discipline scientists prepared to tackle this enormous challenge. A good number of scientists have already verified the mathematical model of the catastrophe progression mentioned above and reached the same dire conclusions as I have. The model is entirely accurate. This leads me to ardently believe that we are facing an exceedingly tragic future if we do not take action now. Furthermore, many scientists from a variety of national backgrounds wholeheartedly support the scientific research of ALLATRA and confirm the cyclical nature of the ongoing catastrophes. I have received support from many of my acquaintances and colleagues for the establishment of a unified international scientific research center and their readiness to cooperate within its organizational framework. For those of you possibly entertaining serious involvement with our scientific project, please be aware that I am already receiving an exceedingly extraordinary number of positive inquiries from virtually every part of this world. The movement has gained traction with much public interest. I am pleased that a considerable number of intelligent and responsible individuals and qualified scientists are joining in. In turn, this enhances our prospects for a favorable outcome. The stark reality is that the world is on the brink of a catastrophe. We have no chance of averting this impending catastrophic disaster if we elect to procrastinate any longer. The scientific community is ready to take action immediately, but a political declaration of will is imperative to bring about a full and requisite transition. Therefore, today I am compelled to make this open public appeal. Distinguished leaders, Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, and Mr. Putin, I am addressing you openly and publicly and not behind the scene, nor am I requesting a personal meeting with either of you. There is simply no more time for such courtesies. The situation is dire. This is a matter of supernatural security and a matter which in all respects affects every country and every individual citizen. This is an issue which resides exclusively in your collective hands, just the three of you. I acknowledge that to grasp the full gravity of my expressed concerns, one should first possess a comprehensive physical science background. domains not typically required of or by world leaders. Accordingly, the insight I possess should warrant your immediate attention. Thus, I am relying on the three of you gentlemen as leaders gifted with the unique political wisdom, strategic thinking, foresight, and extensive managerial experience to act upon this extremely urgent matter. In this pivotal moment for our entire civilization, your political determination is the instrument for the survival of all humanity. In furtherance of confronting this colossal challenge to humanity and to safeguard our future and the future of our descendants, it is necessary to take decisive, concrete action, actions which fall squarely in the purview of your authority. Front and center, it is necessary to establish a unified international scientific center to bring together the finest scientific minds from around the world to address the issue of climate collapse. For effective operation, this center must be equipped with access to all necessary equipment, satellites, observatories, and research stations across the entire globe. It is crucial to emphasize that such an endeavor will demand extraordinary, unlimited funding, as solving a task of this magnitude will require the dedicated commitments from all laboratories, research centers, colliders, and the like that exist today. We will need to continuously collect and analyze data from practically every corner of the Earth, from all its layers, ranging from the core to its near space environment. Only through such means can we establish control over the processes currently driving us toward destruction and terminate them. Secondly, it is imperative that we immediately cease all wars, military conflicts, disagreements, and geopolitical disputes. It is crucial to halt the destruction and fragmentation of the world. We all face a common enemy today that threatens all countries, the climate. We need to consolidate our resources. I appeal to you, distinguished leaders of three influential nations, Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, and Mr. Putin. I implore each of you to hear my plea. Reach out your hands to each other and most urgently convene at one table. Only in your capacity as a world leader is it possible to set the wheels in motion. We need you sitting at one table. I urgently request you to initiate an international meeting of all state leaders on any platform you would judge suitable, be it the UN or any other venue, any date and any time. However, we cannot afford to delay. Each day and month lost reduces our chances of survival, and the number of deaths is correspondingly increasing. I and my colleagues from around the world are prepared to furnish you with comprehensive information about the current predicament with the climate so that you can witness with your own eyes what is occurring on our planet and what awaits us in the near future. 2 hours will suffice for us to apprise you of how critical the current situation is. My colleague scientists concur on the high exigency of rapidly organizing a summit of the leaders of the countries. Our survival hinges on the three of you gentlemen. The sooner you heed my plea, the sooner other leaders from around the entire world will convene at one table. In turn, the chances for the survival of humankind will be greatly enhanced. Right now, we are on a collision course with disaster. Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, Mr. Putin, I implore you to listen to me. While we remain divided, we are utterly powerless against the cataclysms about to befall on all of us. Recent experiences such as the unprecedented fire in Hawaii and the historic floods in China sadly confirm this. I have personally received eyewitness accounts from Lahaina, Hawaii, a historic town that was entirely consumed by the flames. What they endured is dreadful. In Hawaii, people were trapped in an absolute nightmare. Numerous lives were lost because no timely aid was provided. Forests burned, cities burned, and people burned. And against this infernal hell, we had nothing to counterpose. Our profound helplessness, whether in Hawaii or in China, has revealed the evident unpreparedness of humanity to face such trials. It is noteworthy that both cases occurred in countries renowned for their significant military power. But why does this military power not manifest itself when the need arises to save its own citizens? If military forces were redirected to save humanity, if we possess the necessary equipment and skills, timely aid could be extended to people, and numerous human lives could be saved. If the Alatra scientists had been heeded a decade ago, much of what is happening now and what will be happening in the future might have been averted. However, that all belongs to the past. We live in the present. Our decisions in the now shape whether we will have a future. Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, Mr. Putin, I address you. In light of this critical situation, it is urgent to globally transform world politics and channel all efforts in consolidation. The armies of the world should alter their operational modes, shifting from the destruction of enemies to the saving of people. We as human beings are not enemies to each other. It is solely within the power of the three of you to shape an international agenda focused on the fact that we are not adversaries. Our Earth is truly small and our planet is highly vulnerable, teetering on the brink. There is no longer a reason to wage wars and remain divided. The only sense lies in seeking ways to unite. We must acknowledge that disaster never strikes when it is convenient. Therefore, we must address the issue of climate migration immediately, while we still have the opportunity to do so in a relatively stable situation. Conditions for people's relocation to new territories should already be established based on a democratic approach without coercion with the free will of individuals respecting all human rights. People should feel like human beings. They should feel that their lives are valuable, important, and protected, that they receive genuine rights and freedoms. We need to acutely realize now that there will soon be no one ahead or behind in this race. Therefore, countries' borders should already be open for free movement for everyone. I am fully aware and acknowledge that such unrestricted movement entails the inevitable interaction of people from diverse cultures, traditions, and customs. This necessitates the formulation of unified measures and rules that should not infringe upon the interests of other migrants or host communities. These rules should be founded on humanity and the need to respect each other and live in peace and harmony. It is vital that people don't have artificial reasons for conflict, that their honor and dignity are not violated, and that they preserve their human identity. Clearly, large-scale relocation of people will entail the necessity of reorganizing the economic system. While maintaining individual national economies, a unified planned international economy is required for the distribution of essential products and necessities and for other purposes. This unified economy should be focused on ensuring human dignified living conditions for all people, regardless of their place of residence or relocation. No country is capable of withstanding what is looming ahead. Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, Mr. Putin, if you can hear me now, and if you have the will, humanity, and understanding of the complexity of the situation, I implore you to bring about a formal gathering of world leaders centered on how we may reorganize a global economy, restrain your militaries, and redirect your existing military equipment and resources towards saving lives. The arms inventory today possesses no weapon or weapons to counter what an abused planet is about to foist on us. It is imperative to urgently halt all disputes and disagreements and cease dividing people in a political context. Now it is vitally important to alter the international rhetoric and actualize the agenda for uniting people. We need to start with a clean slate to form friendships and mutual respect among people. And the only individuals who can effectively achieve these goals at the global level are you three beings. The future of billions of people depends on each of you. If you do not find the strength for reconciliation and consolidation of all humanity, you must understand how humankind's history will end. No political disagreements are worth this. It is the epicenter of this emergency situation where we all find ourselves today. Every country already experiences the impact of climate change. Many countries have already significantly suffered, and soon no country will be left untouched. With each passing month and day, the situation will take on even more serious and severe dimensions. But for now, we still have a chance. We have a chance if you listen to us. Now I wish to explicitly appeal to the press, to all those journalists who are not indifferent. I realize this decision is not popular, but I implore you publicly, think about yourselves, your families, your children. It hinges on you, journalists, whether citizens of countries whose presidents I'm addressing today will heed my message or not. The citizens' apprehension of the gravity of the situation can considerably sway the accuracy of the decision of the leaders of the states. If the people support it and make the right decision, the world will be saved. Journalists, you are also at the vanguard now, and a great deal relies on you in saving the world as well as on politicians and scientists alike. For scientists to act and assume responsibility for saving the future world, politicians must make the appropriate timely decision regarding the establishment of a unified international scientific center. For this to transpire, the lion's share of responsibility depends on you, journalists. Assist in disseminating this information so that it reaches the presidents of the countries. It must reach all citizens of these countries. We have been divided by economic and political circumstances for way too long, but now is the time to change it. We need the support of every citizen of this world. We need to restore sanity, rationality, and respect among people. If we do not fight for each other's lives, our lives will be worth absolutely nothing. Distinguished leaders of the three most prominent countries, the United States, China, and Russia, Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, and Mr. Putin, I again address you publicly in the face of hundreds of thousands of international viewers with an urgent appeal. It is time to overcome all rivalry and discord. Yes, for many years we have competed and each fought for their own. But now is the time to fight for a united future, for one Earth, for everybody's survival. The time of national security has passed. The time for supranational security has come. This is a matter of survival of all humankind. Anomalous events that happen with the oceans and beneath the Earth's surface are catastrophic. The time has come for prudent decisions from responsible leaders. We are on the verge. If we continue on the same divisive path that has dominated for many years, our civilization will cease to exist. We must be concerned about survival, which means unity. And I address you once again. Please convene a global leaders meeting at one table, keeping a full view that the world no longer needs or appreciates the intensely important discussion about our climate destruction presented in the format of a facade, delivered via a vehicle powered by misinformation and or disinformation. The past is the past. My colleagues and I only require 2 hours of your valuable time and consideration to elucidate what is happening. And you will observe for yourselves that this danger is palpable. I am confident you can make the optimal decision after that. Humanity has no other viable option. No single country is capable of resisting this climate peril alone. Either we all together descend into this abyss, or you unite the entire world, and owing to you, humanity gains a real chance of survival. We, the scientists, comprehend where to proceed. We discern what to do. But for this, all that is required is your willful decision, the decision of the world's leading politicians. The world we live in yesterday no longer exists today. Many may not want to accept this, but regardless of our attitude, there is no reversal to the past. Either we build a new format of interrelations, cease our divisions, and protect this planet, or this destructive process, which has already become irretractable and uncontrollable, will culminate in the dismay of entire humanity. Mr. Biden, Mr. Xi Jinping, Mr. Putin, the responsibility for the global community lies on your shoulders alone. It is your will, your humanness, your apprehension of the ongoing crisis, your desire and your aspirations that will determine our future. The fate of the entire world is in your hands today. Everything depends on your collective decision. If you find the strength to come united and take timely action, then the future of humanity will have a chance to exist. Think about your people. Think about all of humanity. Without humanity, there will be nothing. It is only by your will all divisions in the world could be halted. I implore you, don't destroy the world. Unify for our collective survival. We still have a chance. If we don't seize it, all wars and politics will be meaningless. Everything will be in vain. The enormous burden rests on your shoulders. Responsibility for the future of humanity is in your hands. If you grasp the full essence of the danger we are in today, I'm sure you will contribute to saving planet Earth. In closing, on behalf of all those humans who have lost their lives due to the climate destruction we have brought about through our negligence and greed, and all those humans who will lose their lives unnecessarily due to the inaction of our leaders, I implore each of you gentlemen to act in accordance with the message I delivered today. Thank you very much.